Hey guys, it's your girl Abby, and I'm back with another video. So, today is going to be something new. As a new YouTuber, I'm trying to be versatile and have different things. As some of you may know or may not know, because I think the first video my wife and I put up, I didn't even talk about Abby's Crafts. Abby's Crafts wasn't even a thought in my mind. For those of you who don't know, Abby's Crafts is my small craft business. It literally started maybe December of 2018, and uh, it's picked up a lot in the last 8 to 9 months. Um, so today, um, in lieu of me crocheting, because I won't be posting any tutorial videos, um, but I do know that some people do like to watch crochet, I'm gonna do a story time. So it's crochet with me story time. So today I am making a this is part of my fall collection. I'm making an off the shoulder top, long sleeves. It's going to be green and tan. The exact colors are, this is a hunter green, and then the tan I'm using is called Cafe. The yarn I'm using is Red Heart Super Saver. This is a medium weight yarn. I'm using, okay, it recommends a 5.5, and I'm using a 4mm hook. But I might switch out to my 5mm hook because this is very, very tedious. So, um, I am going to talk about the time how my wife and I first met as I'm making this. So, when Jay and I met, we met online on this site called Tagged. I don't know if anyone still uses that website or whatever, but it's a pretty old site. It was my yearbook before, and it turned into Tag. I had no clue it turned into Tag until like a few years ago. Anyway, it all started with my ex. At the time, I was off and on seeing a young lady. I was in college, and it started out okay, and then it went left so fast. But that's another story for another time. So during this time, I was trying to make my ex jealous. Not even gonna lie. Um, and I was just talking to different girls. I even talked to one guy, but he was nice. I was like 21 and he was like 18, and he was just a really sweet kid, and he legit was just looking for a nice person, but I wasn't it. um, but I would bring various girls up to school just to make her jealous. One girl actually stayed the entire weekend, the entire week, and we got into a whole argument. She was from Atlanta, and she was cool. She drove up to um, Lock Haven because that's where I went to school, and um, it was very strange because over the phone she was a sweetheart. We talked all day, every day, and she was really cool. But in person, she was a little crazy. So, she drove up to the school. She wanted to spend Thanksgiving with me in school. So most of you don't know, I'm Jamaican. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. That's an American holiday. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? She came up. Long story short, she'd wake up in the middle of the night, calling her cousin, telling her that I'm not paying her any attention. Um, I remember one day she flat out told me I was ignoring her. We were watching the show, and she told me I was ignoring her. I thought we were watching a show. Um, she was just really, really weird. So I just didn't like that. And then you're showing off in front of my ex. So it's like, sis, you not helping. Like, so the whole time, even though my ex was showing that she still cared or whatever, and was trying to help me, it didn't work. So the girl ended up leaving, and I'm like, you know what, screw tagged. I'm not even gonna get on here anymore. Like, I'm done. Yada yada yada. So I don't get on there, and something just tells me to go on and check. So I go on and check. This is early December. So the girl that I was talking about, that came to see me from Atlanta, we were talking in September and October. We eventually exchanged phone numbers, and I wasn't on the dating app after that. Once I find somebody that I'm interested in, I won't go back on the dating app. So, she, so I wasn't on there. So I went on tagged right after Thanksgiving. Matter of fact, the date was December 9th. I went on tag, and I saw a message. I was going through deleting messages because so there are some weird people on these sites. So I was on there deleting messages, and I saw this one message. It was like, "Hey, just checking to see how you doing, whatever, whatever," or something like that. It was just like, "Hey, how are you?" It was a simple message, nothing extra, nothing like, "Oh, you pretty," da da da, or whatever, whatever, or those extra, like on tag you'd get messages like, "Hey, my wife is into girls. Let's have a threesome." Like, sir, no, it's not happening here. So, anyway, I was deleting those messages like that, and I came across hers. So I messaged her back, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, my name is Jay, whatever, whatever. I hope you're having a good day, beautiful." I'm like, "Okay, you kind of okay." So I'm looking through her pictures, and I'm like, okay, one, no offense, but I'm not really into light skinned girls. It's nothing against y'all. I just never, I was never. Well, no, that's a lie because when I was younger, I was. But um, lately, I've found myself more attractive to chocolate girls, dark skinned girls. And it's not, like I said, it's nothing against light skinned girls. If I weren't married, and somebody were to ask me out, I would go on a date and see how it went. But um, it's just my preference. Um, Nothing against you, but so I thought she was lighter, and I'm like, okay, she seems cool, but not really attracted. So we exchanged numbers, and we were talking, and she seemed really cool. And I came home, so we were talking since December 11th, and via text, because we kept missing each other on tag. It was just too hard to keep up with each other because she sent me that message like a month or two before I even saw it and responded. So we exchanged numbers, and we were talking for like 2 weeks. I came home from school. My mom came and got me. Um, December 17th, and I think I told her I was home December 18th, the following day. So, did it go like that? No, I think I came home a little bit earlier than that. I came home around between the 14th and the 15th. And then we were talking, and I'm like, well, I'm in Philly, so, um, like, what's up? Like, I'm back home. So, like, am I going to see you? Like, what's going on? So she's like, yeah, 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 I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna see you. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go to my sister's, and me and my sister are talking, And that's one thing me and my sissy, we always um relationship talk. Oh, who you talk to? Da, da, da. And it's weird because I'm like, I wasn't expecting to be anything with her. And I'm like, yeah, well, I was on there. I met this one girl, whatever. She seems okay, but I'm not really looking for anything. Like, she's just gonna be my little whatever whenever I need to do my little thing. That's who's gonna be. Maybe, but I wasn't really trying to find a relationship. I was just trying to play the field because I was never a play the field type of girl. And I'm like, I just keep getting played, so I'm just gonna play the game too. So I had all intentions of not being with her in any type of relationship, nothing. So we ended up meeting at my sister's house December 18th. That was our meetup place. And I'm blowing her up. I'm like, yeah, are you coming? Like, what's going on? Like, we talked at like 11 o'clock this morning. And I'm expecting you maybe to be here like 3, 4 o'clock, the latest. So I'm like, okay, are you coming still? Are you coming still? Are you coming still? She's like, yeah, I'm coming, da da da. So she finally comes over, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. So I might be exaggerating. It was maybe like 7 because the sun was setting, and um it still hadn't snowed yet. We were outside talking. She got off the bus. Me and my sister went to go meet her. And the first thing I said when I saw her, I was like, oh, she's pretty. But I was like, she looks like a kid. Like, she looked like a child. And I was like, all right, I know we're young, but like, sis, I'm like 21, about to be 22. You look like you're 15, 16. And I can really go to jail for that stuff. So I'm like, okay, and I'm checking her out. I'm like, okay, she's pretty, whatever, whatever. I completely different from what I thought because I swore she was light skinned. Like I said, she was chocolate. So I'm like, okay, you alright. So this is when her dreads were like this short. Now, if you see Jay, her hair is like down to it's mid back, in the front it's like down here. Since our last video, her hair was probably up here. So anyway, so we get back to my sister's house. We're all talking. I'm doing my sister's hair, and it was just cool. So I was dyeing my sister's weave, and I went in the bathroom to go rinse it out, and I'm like, hey, come here. So she's like, what? So she follows me into the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Because I don't know what to do. I'm just going to kiss her and see what happens. So I kissed her. And she was like, oh, okay, like, whatever. Um, and like that whole evening, it was just really nice. And she was good to talk to. It was really sweet. So the next time, so after that, we met officially in person and everything. She finally told me where she lived, so I would come and see her like very often. So after that day, I was seeing her every single day. Like when I say every single day I was at her house or her apartment. So then it was Christmas Eve, and I was at her house. My family celebrates Christmas, but my mom usually works those days. Um, so I wasn't at home with my family. So anyway, it was Christmas Eve and we were laying in her bed. Her parents had just moved down to Florida. And yeah, we were laying in her bed and we were talking. So she wasn't with any family. And I was like, I told you, I'm not a girlfriend type. I'm not a player type of girl. I'm a girlfriend type of girl. I gotta turn the air on. It's hot. Hold on. So, like I said, I'm not a girlfriend. I'm not a player type of girl. I am a girlfriend type of girl. I'm a wife. I expect to be in a relationship if I'm messing with anybody. So Christmas Eve, I'm like, so what are we? Like, and she's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, well, I want to be a girlfriend. I don't want to. And it was weird because it's not something that I thought of before. It's not. It was nowhere in my mind for me to be with her. I just knew I liked her and she was cool. And she was like, okay. I was like, I want to be your girlfriend. And she just said okay. And that was that. So that was that. The next day was Christmas, and that was our first official day being together. And 4 years later, we're here. And it's so funny because the time frame of when we met is so short, and when we got together, but this is one of my longest relationships. This is my happiest relationship. This is the relationship I feel most secure in ever. Jay is just a very compassionate and caring person. She can be rude if you try her, but one thing about her, she's never ever said a harsh word to me. And that's somebody, I can look at her and I can feel her, and I know that she loves me unconditionally. And that's something that you can't buy. That's something that you can't expect from everyone. And coming into this relationship, I wasn't expecting a relationship. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I just got out of a bad relationship, so I really wasn't trying to be anybody's girlfriend or whatever. And it just worked out. And I'm so happy. And this is why I strongly believe in not looking for your partner or your spouse, because your souls and your hearts are going to find each other. So you going around dipping and dabbing in every little thing, you won't be mad because you're going to get caught up, and you're not going to realize that that's the person, and you might mess it up. So that is my story time. I haven't gotten very far in this top, but next story time, I promise we'll get further. So I hope to see you soon. Bye guys. Stay hooked.